Creatures from the world of the undead.
The most bizarre.
Devil worship, Satanism, black magic, or witchcraft. Zodiac killer.
All lights go out and the monsters are released from their coffins.
Now, prepare yourself for the most gruesome and grotesque experience of them all. The Creep-O-Rama.
I do wonder if it's in his contract that he has a minimum roundhouse kicks to the face.
Yeah. It's in the social contract. I know that.
Yeah.
I think in his Universal Soldier contract, it's like, I have to show my ass like 7 times at least.
Yeah, and that's not even the part that got me. Never mind.
He was fucking.
It wasn't even raining.
Glued it up, dude. He glued it up.
Bro, what if it was just JCVD's glutes in the rain?
Yeah,
that's the back print for the t-shirt, obviously.
That's good.
Make a lot of money on ad revenue on YouTube, just getting that and looping it for like 10 hours, just like one of those types of videos.
Yeah,
kick in an ad every like 15 minutes.
This might sound really stupid. Maybe you guys are on the same page as me. But I felt Universal Soldier, for some weird reason, JCVD did really good as an actor in Universal Soldier.
Well, I think that it's yes, but also, is that not the easiest thing to do in comparison to these other two movies?
Well, no, I'm talking about like
everything,
like in everything. Something about this movie. I have not watched this since I was like a little kid. Because I remember when it came out, I think it was like 91. I remember my mom had rented it. 92. Like I remember my mom had rented it because Dolph Lundgren, He-Man, and JCVD in the same movie. I remember it was like crazy.
Dude, Dolph Lundgren's amazing in this movie.
Yeah, he really is.
He's a maniac.
That's my favorite part was the opening sequence where I'm like, Dolph Lundgren's putting on a pretty solid American accent, and JCVD did not try. They were just like, no, your character just has a weird accent. She'll even call it out later in the movie.
Even by the time we get to Street Fighter, which is significantly into JCVD's fucking career, still can't fucking get this goddamn guy. Not even remotely.
He doesn't even try.
I'm pretty sure that they changed him from being a U.S. soldier to being an allied nation soldier just because he's not American. Clearly.
No.
But he's got the flag. He's got the blonde hair still.
He does not have the blonde hair. Otherwise, it would be 3 feet taller.
Rust-colored hair. But anyway, going back to Universal Soldier. And some part of it, like it dawned on me in the diner scene where he's just, he doesn't understand like anything, and he's just eating like plate after plate after plate. And like they're bringing him more food, and like just his mannerisms. I was like, you're actually acting right now.
Yeah.
Or he wasn't. And that's just like, he's an awkward, not great, like robotic type dude. And they were like, oh, this was the part you were born to play.
Works out.
Because this is still
I felt
relatively early in his career.
It's the only movie where he's
a character.
Yeah.
Where he's told to, okay, you can spin kick all you want. Where you have a story, and not to say like the other movies don't have a story, but it's just not like, I know it's a Jean-Claude Van Damme vehicle, but it's a totally different, like, it's just a different movie altogether.
See, that's humor, so funny because I don't feel that way at all. I think it's just, I don't know. It does nothing for me. I want to like Universal Soldier so much more. And like, there's just not a fucking movie there.
Dude, there's totally a movie.
There is a movie there, and then they don't do it. It's about a fucking desert.
Don't do it.
About a desert. Just takes
just
place
them in a
desert.
fucking desert for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I want to see them actually like do things.
Universal.
Yeah, Universal and Soldier.
Well, I mean,
they glued it up.
Yeah, totally. Like that was
it's so much more about like how we have to fucking cool down Jean-Claude Van Damme's body. Like, cut that out and put some more action in it, man.
I don't know.
I want to see him fight.
I thought that was the fight at the end. That was pretty dope.
Yes, the fight at the end is good, and it's the middle part.
The chase, I like that. That
him
bus,
becoming the engine for a car is insane.
So what part?
That was awesome. He starts pushing the car at 30 miles per hour.
Well, the car's fucked. I guess I'll run.
That was fucking great. I love right after that scene where they cut to the fucking whatever office they're in, where they're like, "Shit, we lost him." He goes, "Tracking systems activated." It's like, you lost him like 15 minutes ago. Why are you just activating that now? Like some like fucking Garmin GPS device that you have
back
on
it from like 2025. It's like, come on, you guys should have that should have been automatic.
You should just always know where he is.
Yeah, always. Why would you ever turn it off?
Because it can overheat. They got to put them on ice.
Yeah. See, that's you know what? They're not thinking about that with these new automatons that like. Yeah, okay. You may have a skin robot, but is it going to overheat? I bet it will.
Yeah, either that or they built an internal cooling system.
I love that.
They learned from Universal Soldier and they built an internal cooling system.
I love that scene where the car's not working, just like a thoughtless robot. Like, and they're just fucking pushing it 30 miles an hour.
That's what I mean.
Not let's get her out of it and carry her and run quicker.
No.
But also like. It does kind of make sense because it's more cover than not being in the car, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they pull up to a really dope old school gas station. And it just made me realize how cool old gas stations are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Really like old gas stations.
Yeah. And then those fuckers just blew it up. That poor gas station, like small business. And they were like, nope, got to set a trap for the government.
Just like them. Just fucking like him.
There was, for some reason, again, as I said, I hadn't seen this since I was a little kid. So this entire time, for some reason, every time I thought about Universal Soldier, I thought that they were robots.
Right.
Like I thought they were Terminators.
Yeah.
You know? And then as I'm watching it this time, I was like, Justin, you're a fucking idiot, because how would that have worked? How would they have... How would they have gone in and removed all of everything and put an exoskeleton inside the body?
Hey, $6 million man existed.
That's true. That's true. But like 10 minutes into this movie.
And RoboCop.
And Terminator Salvation.
And maybe 90 other movies.
Yeah, I know, but it's not the same.
I mean, specifically for our like context at the time of when we were kids. RoboCop definitely existed, and $6 Million Man was definitely a thing. So it wasn't like outside of the realm of reality.
But watching,
but now movie, going back, it's like, that doesn't what?
Yeah, it just
it is funny watching it now. You're like, oh, they've just got like these gamer ass headphones on that you take off, and now they're not.
They're
not jacked in anymore. Weird little eyepiece.
Yeah. But speaking of Dolph Lundgren, did something change with his voice midway through the movie?
I'm pretty sure the whole thing was ADR.
Because like, especially in the grocery store scene, I was like, this doesn't sound like Dolph Lundgren. Even if it was Dolph Lundgren doing an American accent, it sounded like a completely different dude. Maybe that's a testament to his like American accent, but I was
it might just be a testament to how shitty and fast this movie was made.
That's probably potentially, maybe.
Dolph's not in today. Fuck it. Somebody else could fake his accent. Just record it.
I didn't think it was that bad, dude. I thought it was a pretty good.
I thought it was fucking awesome.
It's the best of these three for sure. Yeah, I do think that Universal Soldier is one of the better JCVD movies. It just
Street Fighter might be better for just different reasons.
Totally different reasons. Totally different reasons.
I hate it so much.
Well, that's why it's good.
Yes, that is why it's good. But also, what kills me is that I have the same problem with Cyborg for a different reason.
James, did we just watch 3 movies you did not like? That's you poor soul. I'm so sorry.
kind of, a little bit.
Like, these are all garbage.
Cyborg.
We don't have to talk about Cyborg.
No, we have to talk about Cyborg. We have to talk about Cyborg.
Yeah.
This movie doesn't. It's not about a cyborg. First off.
She's a cyborg.
Yeah,
she's in
a
it for
cyborg.
like 3 fucking scenes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's
but it's like the Legend of Zelda.
So hold on. It's important. And you know what's funny? You should bring that up because how many of you had seen Cyborg?
Oh yeah, me
hadn't.
too.
I'd never seen it,
time.
apparently.
Yeah, that was my first time.
The only thing that I
thought
remember...
that I'd seen it, but I'm going to go ahead and say that I was thinking it was Universal Soldier. Same thing with the exoskeleton. And that's why I was like, I thought he was a cyborg.
Right.
Yeah.
I did not go. I went into this expecting it to be JCVD as a cyborg, which is a fucking cool movie.
Yeah. So this is like Mandela effect, where you could have sworn JCVD played a robot at some point, and you watched both movies where you thought that was the case, and it was not.
It should have been the case.
It should have been the case in one of them at least.
Yeah.
Possibly both. It makes so much sense. You have Jean-Claude Van Damme be a fucking spin-kicking robot.
Yeah, but no.
What?
Instead,
like, that's incredible.
Instead, I don't know if you guys read what Cyborg was born out of. Like, what?
No.
Like, literally. So, this movie came about from the ashes of Masters of the Universe 2 and Spider-Man.
What?
Yeah, so, what's the name of the fucking Canon? Is that the production company?
Canon,
yeah. They had all. They
as
were
soon
in
as
the
I saw the
middle of
Canon
making,
logo, I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be fucking something."
Yeah. So they had got all the way to making the costumes and everything for Masters of the Universe 2 and Spider-Man, and then something happened with their funding. Something happened with their funding, and then both projects fell out. But the director, who was going to direct Masters of the Universe 2. I believe so. He was like, well, we got to make something. So the studio was like, well, write a movie and let's make a movie so that way we can recoup some of our money that we just lost. I don't know if that fucking works. But that's why a lot of the costumes, like the main bad guys, like his outfit, like the shiny plate or whatever, all of that came from what they were going to film in Masters of the Universe.
Okay, so all the production value came from Masters of the Universe.
Masters Universe 2.
Okay, because that's what I was wondering, because I was watching it and I was like, how
it does have cool.
It's a fascinating like thing to watch because it looks amazing.
Yeah,
like,
it's very Mad Max
within reason, obviously.
Yeah,
it's
like
Mad
Max.
It's like Mad Max
like,
on sounds on stage sets or sets.
Right. Yeah.
Sound stages.
It feels very. It reminds me way less. Like, so
but also like an impressive amount for what you know that what you're watching shouldn't have this much production value.
Right.
Yeah. It was a $500,000 budget.
Crazy.
Yeah. But and the director wrote it in 4 days. Shocker.
You could tell.
But did you guys pick up on their names?
Time.
Did you guys pick up on did you guys pick up on the names at all?
No.
The whole time I thought that the bad guy who was I think he's a professional surfer.
It's Warchild.
That's right. Yeah.
The whole movie could have been fucking just completely scrapped. Swayze walks out. He goes, "Back off, Warchild. Seriously. Credits."
Yeah. It was
JCVD's like, I didn't even need to show up.
I thought that JCVD was calling him Bender the whole time, but his name is Fender.
Yeah.
And then
really?
Then JCVD's name is Gibson Rickenbacker. The writer director named everybody off of guitar company names. So the final battle is literally Gibson versus Fender.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you know what? It is as good as I would expect two guitars fighting each other to be.
Yeah.
It rocked.
Yeah. One of the dudes is literally named Marshall Stratt.
Yeah, but you know there's a dude out there probably also named Marshall Stratt.
Yeah,
that sounds like that's a high school football name for sure.
Rickenbacker is not bad.
That's a bad name, James. That's not okay.
For a Jean-Claude Van Damme character who's saving the world, I don't think so, bro. Gibson fucking Rickenbacker.
He does have the fastest kicks in the wasteland.
There you go.
There it is.
I took 3
much like a
notes
Rickenbacker.
I took 3 notes for this fucking movie.
That's 2 more than I did.
I wrote That leg fight was sick. They crucified Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's a pretty enjoyable piece of shit. Those are my 3 notes.
Yeah, whenever they crucified him, I just put The Last Temptation of JCVD.
Yeah.
You know that they were watching fucking Conan, the first Conan, where he's like they're like, we gotta have the JCVD version. And it's like, okay, I guess. Sure.
Yeah, a lot of the dudes in this, and it might just be because some of these guys, I'm assuming, were maybe hired on to do Masters of the Universe 2 as well. But everybody was just like, the only word that I could describe it or that kept coming to mind is like, everybody's beefy.
You know what? Now that you fucking mention it,
just a hearty film.
Street Fighter needed more of the fucking actors and bodybuilders from fucking this one. Dude, half the people in Street Fighter don't look fucking nearly beefy enough.
Yeah,
man.
no.
Well, they're not supposed to be beefy though. They're supposed to be lean because they're martial artists.
Yeah, but Blanca,
but there's no real martial arts beefy, in that movie.
Blanca's a beefy boy.
Blanca, I feel like it was weird that, I mean, I guess they wanted him to recognize his friend, but I was like, you didn't have to put makeup effects on his normal sized body. You could have recast Blanca with like a fucking bodybuilder.
It's a weird move.
Like,
well, no,
here's the problem. Lou Ferrigno situation, exactly.
Yes. But they couldn't afford to because they were spending all that money on JCVD's cocaine.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Street Fighter should have just been called Cocaine the Movie.
Yes.
Like,
that was Maximum Overdrive, though.
That's true.
That's
a double feature right
there. That's a letterbox list right there. Cocaine the movie.
Going back to Cyborg though, I did because I saw this again when I was really little. And the only 2 things that stood out to me over the years were the eyeball scene. They take out the cyborg's eye. That fucked me up. Yeah, that fucked me up as a kid.
They did a really good job with it.
Yeah, 90% of the budget went to that.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that looked cool.
That and Warchild's fucking mantle, whatever the fuck he was wearing.
Right? Yeah. Like, and then whenever you know that it came from Masters of the Universe 2, like that obviously was like the villain or somebody's fucking costume.
Yeah.
But the eyeball scene, and then them crucifying him on the ship. Which I thought, again, kid, I thought this whole time I thought it was like a telephone pole.
Wait, it wasn't?
No, it was like a ship out in the middle of
like a ship,
like a mast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The telephone pole would have made more sense,
right? Unless if they showed that maybe in the beginning.
That might be in a different movie because I do have a memory of somebody being crucified on a telephone pole.
Yeah,
somewhere in my memory.
I don't know. It feels very like fucking weird dystopian.
Yeah. Is that in the tow truck thing that we always talk about?
Yeah. But yeah, those are the only 2 things that stuck in my head.
My only note for Cyborg was this fucking flashback hair.
Oh,
I love that whenever they're like, we need to make sure you know you're in a flashback, give them longer hair. And but this one they were just like
color.
I know, it was just literally whatever wig was within reach.
It looked
like they intentionally picked a shitty wig.
Yeah,
like there was a decent wig next to the
everything.
shitty one.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Let's get the shitty one.
Well, they're not looking; they're just grabbing a wig, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
That
was bad.
Yeah, wow,
rough.
Yeah, that movie was just. It felt like a really, 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 really bad samurai movie.
Yes. Yeah, and that's
really bad.
That's the thing is, so I watched Cyborg and Universal Soldier like a week ago, and then I got sick. So you guys know. So like I'm kind of trying to remember it through a haze, and it's only adding to the movie a little bit because like. Now
that's the best way to do it.
Yeah. Like you have a fever. Like
in
really.
Fact, I was gonna say you should have just waited until your fever was at its peak and then chugged an entire bottle of like NyQuil and then rewatched Cyborg.
There it is.
Yeah. And that would have been the movie you loved of these 3.
Right.
You'd have been like, this is the best fucking one.
Well, that's why it makes the most sense out of these 3. Yeah. But like, so I was like, I'm gonna try and rewatch it for this episode, and I was like, Oh wait, no, that's not gonna work at all.
No. Nah, dude, no, this is the one and done.
It's so
There's your letterbox.
That's first.
Yeah. I own this movie on Blu-ray. I got it from Shout Factory, and so I was like very excited to finally pop it in. And yeah, I'm like, I don't know if this is what I need to own forever, but I am
Cyborg
own it
on Blu-ray now that I
own every
about
JCVD movie.
Yeah, I have it on VHS, and it's staying that way,
dude. And talk about ADR. The ADR in that movie is like, it's one of those very, very in your face. Like, I know this sound is not coming from that set. This is so obviously in like a guy's closet being recorded fucking in North Hollywood. That's what that sounds.
I love it.
I can hear the North Hollywood.
I think the bad guy's direction throughout the entire end fight was just, okay, in this scene you're gonna yell, and then in this scene immediately after that you're gonna yell again, and Fender, the scene after that you're gonna yell.
I don't think that
and
the
then
movie
just repeat that
works without Fender.
And his dope shades. His shades are pretty awesome.
Those shades,
those were fucking cool.
Yeah, and I love that they're like
his beautiful eyes.
So
fantastic,
absolutely
eyes.
Stunning. You can tell why he protects.
His eyes were nuts,
piercing blues.
I mean, there wasn't contacts.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think he was. I think they were. He's blessed with those eyes, dude.
They're just like, damn, baby, those are real.
Yeah,
wow,
it's a lot to take in. Not only is
a couple of Paul Walkers in those eyes.
Nice. Yeah, great eyes.
Yeah,
I'd get lost in them.
Yeah.
Did get lost in them.
Yeah,
90% of the budget of those eyes.
That's probably enough of Cyborg, right? We could probably
talk
about the other two movies.
We talked a decent amount about Universal Soldier. I am
there's a lot to be said about Street Fighter.
So hold on, Universal Soldier. Two things. Best letterbox review for it was when you watch a movie like this, you can fully understand why your dad or uncle decided that they would only watch movies like this for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, that's the top review of Letterboxd.
Yeah, it's so good.
It deserves to be at the top.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. And then the other thing was, because I have this on VHS too, I totally forgot they used to do this, but there was a sweepstakes commercial in front of the movie where if you had to call in a number and you had to answer questions about the movie, and it was like a sweepstakes giveaway that ran for like a year, and then at the end of the year they would pick one person to then send you on a trip. But the thing is it was $1.50 a minute. The average, the average call length, or the average call length was like 4 or 5 minutes or whatever. So the average call was $6 a call. And it specifically repeated multiple fucking times, anybody over the age of 14 can call with your parents' permission. And
God, it's like, scam.
Dude, how much money would they have like fucking made off of that?
It's and no one, and here's the thing. Here's no one won anything. You know that not a single person actually won it. Right, yeah. It was entirely just to get kids to fucking call in.
With their parents' card or something.
$10 a fucking phone call.
Yeah.
Like, man, those were the days. I used to see we would get hotlines like that all the time in the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, call this number and talk to this character.
That was almost next level, though, because you're calling in to sign up for a sweepstakes.
Yeah. That nobody fucking
That's wild.
Nobody. I wonder if there's any complaints online that we can find about that.
Better Business Bureau.
There's like a whole Reddit thread of people trying to track down the winners of the Universal Soldier call-in sweepstakes.
Like, HBO did that documentary on the whole McDonald's monopoly scam.
I didn't
right?
watch,
there should be one made
it's
on
fucking
this.
good. You should check it out. Yeah, they should.
Was it good?
The McDonald's one was great. Yeah. Very interesting.
Did they just never give any prizes?
It was employees, right?
Yeah, it talks about how employees found
set up. Yeah, there was
started a whole racket to get the best pieces, because it was like
because there was
like these 3 pieces will win a car, but one of them is completely impossible. Yeah, and so it went all the way up to like somebody who was in the actual printing press or something who could track where the winning pieces were going to go.
Damn.
And would sell them to the highest bidder or whatever. Be like, here, I'll sell you this boardwalk piece. It's going to end up getting you and it was all Paris or some
within the either within McDonald's or within the company that was running the little game.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And McDonald's, I mean, they were always making a killing, especially in the 90s. But imagine, just from that alone, the Monopoly pieces. Like, I remember fucking going all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
Because of that shit.
My whole board was full up, except for the one piece you needed from every goddamn property. And I thought for sure, today's the day. I'm going to order 6 large fries. And one of them's going to fucking have Pennsylvania Avenue on it, goddammit.
Never got it.
No.
Was there a class action lawsuit?
There should have been.
Feels like there
should have been.
I got diabetes from the McDonald's Monopoly game, and then my dad beat the shit out of me for spending $12 on the Universal Soldier hotline. Like,
the fuck, man.
Oh man,
this companies owe me
sucks,
big,
bro.
Universal Soldier Hotline is such a weird fucking marketing campaign.
It is, and you know that like
call in and say and hear one of these famous phrases from JCVD,
right?
Who's your favorite Unisol? Press 1 for model GL713. Press 2 for model GL.
That idea came from some like intern. Like, we got no money. What can we do to market this movie? Make a hotline, dude.
Even better, we'll charge them for it.
Yeah. They'll pay us.
They'll pay us to engage in a fake. Fake
he was up late and saw one of those like erotic ads. It was like, call now, $4.99 a minute. He's like, you know what? I wish we could do something like that. What if we did one that wasn't sexual that we could get 15-year-olds to participate in?
You mean the Jean-Claude Van Damme Dolph Lundgren hotline? Yeah.
Who do 15-year-olds want to call right now? Jean-Claude Van Damme, obviously.
Do splits all over.
You're
my
now
face.
speaking to a Unisol.
Perfect. Oh man. I will say so for Universal Soldier, I watched this 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was 2021. When I just put a laptop, I was like working from home with my small TV in the office in my old apartment, and it was streaming for free on like Crackle or some shit. And I was like, oh, I really want to watch this new Universal Soldier movie that I heard is actually great. I have to watch the original first so that I know what I'm getting myself into, because I hadn't seen the original since I was a kid. And I liked it, but I didn't like love it. I just remember it being fine. And then I watched it again today, and I'm like, this movie rules. What did I miss about it a few years ago?
What's weird is I kind of had the same situation where the new one came out and somebody was like, you need to watch the new one. So I was like, all right, I'm going to start with the original. And I was like, it doesn't do anything for me. This time I liked it a lot more, for sure.
Yeah. But then you read the synopsis on like the actual franchise, and you didn't have to watch any of them to watch the new one, because each time they made one, they were like, fuck it, we're restarting. So, like, The Return is technically supposed to be a sequel to the first one that skipped the 2 straight to DVD or like TV ones, and then there was a straight to DVD one, and then a new reboot.
Okay, so the second one came out in what? Was it late 90s or early 2000s?
So which second one?
the third.
We got a Terminator here.
My brain
just like Terminator.
Because that's the problem. So Universal Soldier came out in 92.
92.
Yeah.
And the next one,
it spawned a theatrical sequel, Universal Soldier: The Return, in 99.
Right.
But
that has JCVD in it too, right?
Yes, but before that, Universal Soldier 2: Brothers in Arms was a 1998 Canadian made-for-TV sci-fi film, and Universal Soldiers 3: Unfinished Business was a 1998
and neither of those
made-for-TV film.
Neither of those have anybody in them?
No, they've got, one of them has Gary Busey, and the other one has
incredible.
They both have Matt
watch
Battaglia.
The Universal Soldier series.
One has Gary Busey, one has and one has Burt Reynolds.
Oh, we gotta watch the Universal Soldier series.
So the first one is JCVD, Dolph Lundgren. Second one is Matt Battaglia, a couple other people, Gary Busey. Third one is Matt Battaglia, a couple other people, and Burt Reynolds. Jeff Wincott's in both of them. And then they scrapped those or like ignored those and did Universal Soldier: The Return, in 99.
Right. And that's
and
when
then
he
there
came
was and that's when they brought JCVD back. And then Universal Soldier Regeneration was a direct-to-video sequel in 2009 that ignores the return and brings back JCVD and Dolph Lundgren. And I would love to know how they brought Dolph Lundgren back, because he can't really come back from what they did to him at the end of the first one.
That's what I was going to ask.
First off that, but second off, so they got taken, they killed each other in Vietnam, and they were just like, guess we better hang on to these corpses in case?
I guess, yeah. But then they did Day of Reckoning, which also has Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren in it, barely. But that one's dope. That one's got Scott Adkins in it, and that one's like a straight up horror film, and it's got some fucking brutal shit in it. It's so good.
That's the one that I was told to watch, and then just never made it to it.
Oh man, that one's dope. But that's why I watched these other ones to get to that one, and I was like, okay, so this is almost worth it. But the first Universal Soldier, I forgot the humor in it, and I think that's what's funny is Jean-Claude Van Damme plays the awkward fish out of water with the humor, like in the getting the tracking device out of his leg, the diner scene, but then also
look for something hard.
Dolph Lundgren being so just sleep, like just shitty, like when he's like, it's empty, like when he tries to shoot her in the head, he's like, oh, it's empty.
He looked like he was having so much fucking fun.
He's a fucking monster.
He is.
I was also I don't know, I know James has obviously watched Sons of Anarchy. Have you guys
I was gonna bring that up.
I caught episodes here and there throughout, but I never watched.
Josh, did you ever watch it?
I never did. I always wanted to. Eventually we'll get to it. It's got a great cast.
Yeah. Well, she I can't remember her name in
the movie. It's Veronica.
Yeah,
Bundy.
No,
sorry.
No, that's
Katie Seagal's also in it because she's married to the creator, but it has nothing to do with this movie.
No,
That was an attempt at a joke. I was being serious.
The actress in Universal Soldier plays a very important role in the first 3 seasons of Sons of Anarchy.
Okay,
and that's the only other time that I've seen her in anything. And
there was something else that I saw her in around SOA, but it's only modern stuff.
She's so good in SOA. She is just, it's one of the it's like one of the top 5 most hated characters I think I've ever had.
She's a bad bitch.
She's evil.
She's in Kazam
with Shaq.
Okay.
Is she legitimately justifiably hated in SOA, or is she like Skyler in Breaking Bad where everyone hated her and then you're like, you're just sexist?
No, when I say she's evil, she's fucking evil.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. But so to see her in this, I was like, oh shit, totally different. But yeah, she's really, really good. It was nice to see her.
Remember that when I watch it eventually.
Fucking hate her.
Sure, you'll be watching and be like, hey, Veronica.
Yeah.
Felt like there was a few scenes with tropes, like some classic tropes in Universal Soldier, especially the scene where he's outside completely naked. The old lady sees him, raising the eyebrows and smiling.
Right.
Like, I can't name you other movies that have it, but I know it's in at least a dozen other movies that I've seen.
Especially in the 90s. In the 90s, I remember that a lot.
Well, we just saw it in Terminator 3, right? When he walks into the bar,
Right. Well, it's almost actually identical to that.
I feel like there might be a reason for that. I don't know.
Yeah. But then even the diner scene, he kicks the guy under the pool table and the fucking balls just go into pockets, which I think might be in Terminator as well.
Yeah.
No.
Is it not?
Is it not? I always thought that
it's definitely
that's
in
another one where I was
movies.
holding it over.
I mean, he does kick the shit out of some dudes in a pool hall. I don't know if the actual balls go into the pockets, though. That's almost too silly for even Terminator.
Yeah.
I think that's just
but
good.
I've definitely seen that. And then classic death by spikes, even though it wasn't his true death, but
The diner scene was great though, because I just love to imagine somebody walking up and like, you just keep ordering food. How are you going to pay for it? And then he doesn't say anything, and you're like, oh, we got a deadbeat here.
Right.
And the chef himself comes out and is like, I'm going to fucking kick your ass. And I'm like, what is
This escalated
is this how small town fucking diners handle?
Try that in a small town.
Like,
yeah. Try not paying for food in a small town. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Chef's gonna fuck you up.
Oh,
There's nothing against those
Try being
splits, though.
Jean-Claude Van Damme in a small town.
Yeah. I love when she says she's driving him to his parents' house. She's like, I'm going to take you home now. And it's just like the way he looks at her is so Goonies. He's like, you're going to live with me now.
I want to know
Jesus.
when they were looking for the tracking device, which was strategically just planted in the back of his thigh for some reason.
Yeah.
When he looks down and she's feeling for something, he's like, is that supposed to be there? And she's like, yeah, no, that's totally normal. I'm like, was that a dick joke?
Because I think so.
It had to have been.
He should be
know
aware.
what a dick is. He's not like, he's not inhuman.
He's not
like he
he's not a robot
person. He specifically is not a robot.
Yeah. He's technically like a zombie.
Yeah, I could understand.
Yeah.
Attorney Terminator being like, what the fuck is that? but not this one.
No.
Well, maybe
it
was
is
just
funny
an
how
attempt to.
Wait, don't they wipe their memories? Maybe they just wipe the dick memory too.
I don't know if you could.
They tried to wipe them. This movie does not take long for them to be like, here's the traumatic incident that happened right before they died, but now they're robots. Whoops, he actually remembers the traumatic incident that happened right before he died.
Yeah,
like within 5 minutes. It's like, we don't even get to know the Unisolve. It's literally he
first
shows
mission.
Up. Yeah, first mission.
First
He's like,
mission.
hey, they look, which apparently they look the same because it's the same couple that played the couple at the beginning of the movie.
Okay.
Plays the couple in Hoover Dam. Yeah. I was like, oh, they look familiar.
I thought you were trying to say that it was the same couple from Vietnam, and I was like, I don't think it is.
The IMDb says it is.
Same.
No, I meant like actors, in the movie.
Right? Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah, they didn't have room in the budget to hire 2 other people that look similar.
It makes sense when you think about it. Like, there you go.
Yeah, that was the 90s.
Let's put a Mickey Mouse shirt on it. Should be fine.
Apparently, when they had the premiere of this film at some film festival, which I think it was like a big film festival, apparently both JCVD and Dolph Lundgren got into a fight and had to be separated by security and everything. And then years later, as of like 5 years ago or something, they finally said on a podcast that it was all staged to try and drum up publicity.
Really? It was a
and
con.
they're actually really, and they were actually really good buddies now.
Nice.
That's funny.
Back then, yeah. I don't think it worked.
I don't think I would want to be in an audience where suddenly the 2 Universal soldiers start getting into a fight.
Yeah, He-Man and I don't know what
JCVD.
Fucking refer to him.
Guile.
No,
his
not
Street Fighter
Guile.
hadn't come out yet.
Not Guile. Gibson Rickenbacker. Thank
Chance
you.
Boudreaux. Yeah, Gibson Rickenbacker. His least memorable character has his most memorable name.
Right.
Oh man,
the way you were saying "not Guile" reminds me of "not the Rockets, not the Rockets."
Let's find some rockets. Street Fighter.
Yes.
Dude,
Talk about a movie that doesn't have enough Jean-Claude Van Damme in it.
Yeah, except the end.
I don't care.
At the end, there's too much Jean-Claude Van Damme.
This movie,
it's all Jean-Claude Van Damme.
This is what's so ironic about this movie to me is it's supposed to be they were banking on Jean-Claude Van Damme being the reason people go see this movie, and he is the worst part of the movie.
Yeah,
because he's the worst part of the movie is why we're still talking about the fucking movie 30 years later, because it's so silly and bad that they hired the least American dude ever to play the American Street Fighter. But would the movie still be today, like, would we get a Blu-ray special edition? Would we be talking about it on this podcast? Would it have the same staying power if they
there's
had
other Street
cast
Fighter movies that have come out?
Anybody else that made more sense?
Because you can look. There's other Street Fighter movies that have come out. I'm pretty sure there's at least one other live action Street Fighter.
Yeah, and it was like bad,
real bad. But like, this movie is okay. I am coming at Street Fighter the movie from the lens of the video game. Like, that's when I first saw this movie.
It's not related to that at all.
Yeah, I know, and that's the fucking problem. That's why it sucks.
Right, yeah.
Because they try so hard to simultaneously not make it the game at all. They try to fucking go so far away on so many of the characters, but then at the same time, they're relentlessly trying to make the characters that they just tried to go as far away from the game as possible look like they're in the game.
right.
And you're like, what the fuck are you doing?
And that's what I love about it, because they're like,
that's why it's awesome.
We need a plot. We need a plot. So what is happening here? Why? Because every character has to come from a different country. That's the whole lore and reason. Like Bison is this general who's also a villain and has lightning powers. So
now
that's why there's a tournament where they all fight each other.
Right.
But I think this was this after Mortal Kombat?
No, this is before Mortal Kombat, and I think that's why it's the year before Mortal Kombat.
Maybe that's why Mortal Kombat was
I think that's why Mortal Kombat ends up being better. They took they saw this and they were like, okay, we can't do that again. What if we just make it a combat, like a tournament, like the game, and we give it a good soundtrack this time?
And we cross JCVD's name off the list of potential Liu Kangs.
Gone.
Make a movie about this video game that's all about hand-to-hand combat, and let's have no hand-to-hand combat at all.
Yeah,
and let's
there
make
wasn't one street fight.
I think that's because I did love the video game. Whatsoever. Obviously, I came from it as a fan of the video game too, but I'm also just a fan of comedy. And this is such a comedy.
Oh yeah,
that I think people didn't understand that going in, or that's probably not how it was marketed. I barely remember the trailers, but you watch it again, and I'm like, this has so much humor in it that still holds up, as dumb and like PG as it is.
Yeah, at the beginning, he's like, I'm gonna do. It's like you're holding the mic way over here so you can fucking show the world your fucking biceps.
So good.
The whole bit of it.
Yeah. Anytime,
did you get the dip?
Raul Julia, though, what a fucking amazing performance.
And that
he kills it.
He
honestly, it's so bittersweet, because every moment that he is on the screen is incredible. And at the same time, I'm looking at it and going,
it's rough.
First off, could have been even better. That's the crazy part. That's the worst part about it. Because I want to see the full leveled fucking Raul Julia and Bison actually fighting, like doing cool shit. But it's his last movie. He's literally it's pancreatic cancer, isn't it? He's literally dying.
He was one of the literally dying while filming.
Fucking brutal fucking cancers you could possibly go through. He's an absolute fucking legend. And then you're like, how much of this movie did they have to fucking sacrifice around that? Which really
also
sucks.
Makes the post-credits scene a little unnecessary.
What's the post-credit scene?
Him coming back to life.
How did I not know that fucking existed?
It's
at the end of the credits, the camera like pans over all the devastation in his like demolished office, which we saw the entire fucking thing collapsed into the earth. Like it's not like a fucking TV fell over. He's dead. He's crushed.
Like
but instead, like there's electricity, and then there's like resuscitation thing on the screen. One of the screens still works, and it's all like we're initiating that, and you see his hand come out of the rubble and make a fist. And I'm like, I get that. That's great. But the character, the actor is now deceased. We can probably edit out that post-credit scene, because I don't think we're gonna
bring it back.
I wonder if they left it in as like, and this
Raul Julia lives.
Raul Julia's legacy will never die.
Maybe like to honor him. Okay,
but that's me willing it to be interesting.
I don't know. It feels like there's no real thought that went into any part of this movie.
No, the thought is we're definitely gonna get a sequel to this fucking
The
masterpiece.
thought was, we shot it. Let's just use it. Put it somewhere.
Raul Julia.
I feel like everybody in this movie, everyone in this movie is making a different movie.
Yes.
And Raul Julia is the only one making a good movie.
For sure.
But he's not making Street Fighter, that's for sure.
But I will say, out of everybody that was in this, Raul Julia is the closest to the game.
Yeah.
And
you know what? I would say
and then right on. Yeah, she was awesome.
The
she's
thing
great.
that sucks, the lady
Chun-Li.
Wen, she played Chun-Li.
Chun-Li, yeah.
She's the best part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the show. Amazing.
Yeah, she's great.
She needs so much more recognition than
she's in what, Mandalore?
Yeah, she's Fennec in But but she's not Chun-Li in this somehow.
No, I know.
And it's like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say is Raul Julia's Bison. He was great. And then the only other person out of the whole one, other than Zangief, he was pretty solid.
Oh, Zangief's
but
Zangief not shirtless enough.
So fucking funny.
You get paid?
Yeah. It's so
Change
good.
the channel.
My biggest problem is that he's just wearing a shirt the whole time. Like, you're Zangief.
Yeah, that was the big reveal at the end when he finally tears the shirt off and you get the chest puff.
Right. You know that's
same actor who played Leatherface in the Texas Chainsaw remake.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Really?
Yeah.
And it is.
What's his name in Batman Returns?
Bane?
Yeah, he's in Batman
he's not
Returns.
Bane's not in Batman Returns.
I know.
He plays Christopher Walken's son. Chip.
Charles Chip Shrek.
Yeah.
Chip Shrek.
Dad, save yourself. Go. It's like his only line.
I haven't watched Batman Returns in many, many years. I should actually rewatch that.
Dude, that's like every Christmas. Like, how do you go through Christmas without watching Batman Returns? Dude?
I watch.
I kind of get it.
A lot of other
It's a Christmas movie. It's a great fucking Christmas movie.
It is
a great Christmas movie.
It's a good Christmas movie.
It's the best Michael Keaton Batman. It's great. It's one of the best fucking. I mean, there's only two of them.
Yeah.
Well, no,
I don't know. Michael Keaton was in The Flash as Batman, and
that's what I'm saying.
It's
not.
I
The Flash
finish
is
that
not
with a
better
straight
than
face.
Batman
That's definitely not
Returns.
the best version of Michael Keaton's Batman.
Yeah. No. But yeah. You should gotta get on that, dude. But what? Okay, going back.
8 months
but
from now.
the other guy that I felt that was the closest, at least like the portrayal of it, and like at least made me feel like I was watching the video game a little bit, was Vega.
Vega, especially.
Yeah.
I not getting to watch him fight in his fucking area is the biggest cock tease of this whole fucking movie.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh my fucking god!
Also, but why does he get a weapon and a mask?
Why?
Nobody else? That doesn't seem fair.
It never made any sense to me. I love it. I think he's the coolest motherfucker. I'm a sucker for a Pretty Boy character.
Yeah.
And, man, he fucking nails it.
Also, I
Also,
do feel like that's the one thing I remember being bummed about when I walked out of the theater, because Vega was my favorite character to play as.
Also,
when he came up on the screen, I was like, yes! And then nothing.
At the end, when they burn his fucking face, he has no reaction to it.
Yeah.
That makes he should have been freaking out.
And then the whole
he
scene
just went like,
where the scene where he's about to fight Ryu, where like they bring him his mask and his claws.
Yeah.
And then he picks up the mask, and then it's like act confused. Okay, and then he picks his mask and then puts it down. He's like, "No, I'm not going to fight with my gear." Never mind.
It's because the crowd is chanting "No weapons."
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. Because I can't remember exactly.
But the
how
people in the audience who play the game were like, "No, put the goddamn mask on, Vega.
What are you doing?"
Yeah. Did you guys catch? It's in it really quick. When they're in the first scene, when they go to the jail. Right, or the compound that's the jail after they all get arrested. There's one shot where he's standing next to the Last of the Mohicans guy. I can't remember his name. Yeah, Sagat. He's standing next to him. The camera kind of zooms in, and Vega's holding makeshift claws.
Yes.
Out of bamboo sticks.
And then he fights them with them. And so we don't get to watch the actual claws. We get to watch the fucking makeshift bullshit DIY claws.
Yeah, the DIY jail claws. Yeah.
I'm gonna swipe at you with this bamboo.
But that's that's what I mean. Like, he's so obsessed with it. He was in there for like 10 minutes.
I wish he'd made a bamboo mask too.
And he's like, just like pulls a couple of palm leaves over his face.
Sagat's like, dude, we've been here.
I can't see anything in here.
We've been here for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
He's like, I gotta do it.
You know this is my thing.
Yeah.
It's
like
who
a
I
security
am.
Blanket.
Yeah, I gotta have my claws.
It's habitual.
But the cast.
Help it.
I always forget, or I don't always forget, but every time I watch them, like, that's right, his cast is fucking stacked. Because Sagat is Wes Studi, who's one of the greatest actors of all time. And then DJ is fucking Miguel Nunez Jr.
Yes, insane. Which another why are you here? Amazing that you're here, but what?
It's just, it feels like, so I feel like Street Fighter did better about inserting as many characters as possible, but still at least giving them something to do. Whereas, like, you watch Mortal Kombat Annihilation, and they were like, we need to put 45 goddamn characters in this movie, and we're not even going to give a reason. Now Cyrax is here.
Right.
Oh, and then this guy's walking in from this door, and now this character's coming in from behind. And I'm like, where the fuck did any of these people come from? At least in Street Fighter, they all had, like, jobs and lines.
Yeah, they were involved.
There's somewhat character development.
There's not that many jobs in Underworld, okay?
Yeah. They're just hanging out in a lab.
But yeah, I just thought it was fucking...
I think it was a fan-made short for Mortal Kombat back in like 2008, 2009. Made its rounds on YouTube. That was really fucking sick.
Was that?
Maybe it wasn't a fan-made. I don't know. I just remember there being like a 10-minute short.
Was it the reptile one?
I think so.
I think that's
Michael Jai White.
That was I believe that was the one that spawned.
It spawned the series.
Yeah.
They made a couple.
Good.
Yeah, it was.
That
solid.
was great. Yeah, that was
yeah. That was awesome.
I don't know why the fuck they don't do more of those.
Yeah,
I don't know, because nobody watched it until they found out about it from some nerds talking about it on a podcast years after it got canceled.
They don't know what they're doing with Mortal Kombat anymore.
Yeah. I was gonna.
It's gonna turn into fucking Fortnite of fighting pretty soon.
Right. One of the things I wrote about was when he gets in his boat and when he goes up,
and he goes up Reaver.
Reaver. The scene where
what was he gonna do? He's gonna
kick son of
he's gonna kick son of a bitch bison's ass
so hard. They have helmets on with like visors. They're in a boat, and like at this point, I'm sitting here and I'm watching it. I'm like, what is going on? Because they say we got our Kylie Minogue. Which is the fact that I'm saying Kylie Minogue in a Street Fighter movie.
I still don't know
why.
Which it's crazy because she does look like Cammy.
Totally.
Also, was Cammy created for this movie, or was that just like?
No, Cammy's in the game.
Yeah, she's in the game
already.
But, so she goes prepare for it to do something stealth mode, and then they all flip their visors down. I don't.
And then no, wait. You're missing a very important point. And then a trickle of lightning goes across the boat.
Yeah, and then they flip their visors back up. Yeah. But then what I love about the stealth mode is when it shows Bison's security cameras. You can't see the boat, but you can see the water flying from the boat. It's the worst stealth mode
ever. Terrible.
Fucking ever. All they had to do was show nothing.
And also, the implication is that it going into stealth mode also broke the camera, but the camera is broken and still showing the... Like, what?
None of it. It's a comedy. Like, I'm pretty sure that was...
But I don't think it's supposed to be a comedy, and that's the problem.
I don't know. There's so many jokes in this movie. When Sagat first meets Ken and Ryu, and they're like, "Aren't you worried about curfew?" And he's like, "Nobody tells me when there's a curfew." And you hear, "There's a 10 p.m. curfew," and then, like from the megaphone outside. I was like, "That's fucking funny."
Right.
Or when they're talking about Bisonopolis, and he's all like, "You just need to make the food court bigger. All the biggest chains are going to want to be a part of this." And I'm like, fucking Bison talking about a food court?
Right.
Really,
and almost
really
every
does
line
end up
Zangief
being-
has.
It ends up being more Gremlins 2 than Street Fighter in a lot of ways.
Yeah. The ransom that he wanted, was it 20 million or 20 billion?
Billion.
For like 60 people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if I was one of the hostages, I would be like, man, that's too much money. You're asking for way too much. I'm not worth 20 billion, bro. You're going to have to change that number. Maybe
Also, I love that he doesn't, his fucking plan is so convoluted. He doesn't want $60 billion. He wants them to give $60 billion of valuation to his currency.
Yeah. And what's going to stop him from coming back next week and asking for 50 billion? 100 billion.
Nobody's given $100 billion in 1994 money, man. That's that's so much money.
Definitely not.
Back then? Oh my
Back
God.
then, that's way too much.
Too much money.
Way too much. You're not getting that.
I mean, that was a whole joke in Austin Powers, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess I just want 100 bajillion $1 million.
Yeah. There's also not that, I mean, there were spin kicks, but there wasn't any splits in Street Fighter, was there?
No splits.
No splits.
And not as
None in Universal Soldier
fucking,
either.
No, like he doesn't do the fucking whatever
Cyborg?
his Guile.
He does. He does it twice.
Does
He
he?
does it
Cyborg,
twice.
yeah.
No. The
Universal Soldier?
The backflip kick,
the backflip kick in Street Fighter. Yeah, he does it against Bison twice at the end.
Yeah. Which I think was also a reference to the game, because anytime somebody did that to you in the game, they would always do it twice in a row, like assholes.
Yep. Fucking dicks. I will say the whole end fight scene between Guile and Bison, I thought that was pretty good.
Considering the situation that they were in,
it was great.
I thought it was very impressive how they made Raul Julia look like he was able to do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Him flying through the air and doing the whole shit, like that was awesome.
Yeah. They needed
JCVD flexing, great.
A huge part of the problem with that, it wasn't even Raul Julia. It was that they needed to add more effects to M. Bison.
Yes.
Like they need, because like he always had like energy and shit. Like that second half of the fight, he needed to look like he was energized. And he just is just a guy.
Yeah, in the game he was like, he had a whole like layer of lightning on him, and his hands like glowed. And this one they're just like, let's put
so sick
fucking LA Gear shoes on him and call it a day.
Yeah. That's
I do want to mention, because somebody had posted, I think, I can't remember which cast member it was. I follow everyone from this movie on Instagram. But they had posted about how Peter Tue Sosapo, I'm probably fucking that up, the guy who played E. Honda, passed away just a few days ago.
Fuck.
Oh wow.
Damn.
Yeah, he was only 61.
He was great.
But he's so funny.
One of the I wanted
the one
more
joke.
of him.
The one joke that I finally caught this time watching it, which I don't know how I missed it before, was when he was like, "Hey man, give me a hand," and he goes, "Maybe next month. We've only been here for a few minutes."
Yeah.
That's great.
I was like, wait a minute. I didn't catch that when I was 8.
Wait a minute. Hand job joke.
Yeah.
Oh.
I know that Kylie Minogue and Van Damme were having an affair throughout this movie.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
who wasn't? I would have.
Yeah.
It was apparently a huge reason why the set was so like tumultuous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
That and the mountains and mountains and mountains of cocaine that they would just go skiing down in between takes.
Yeah.
Where they film this?
Bolivia.
Really?
Is that
or are you just saying
serious?
that?
No,
for cocaine.
Is that a cocaine
Hawaii?
joke? Or
It's a cocaine joke.
Okay.
I think it was Hawaii.
Cock joke.
Was it Hawaii?
Canada?
No, I might be.
Oh, Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah, Thailand.
That's
right.
That's
yeah,
right.
That's
yes,
why.
because
Hawaii, Thailand, same shit, dude.
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's wrong.
One's over there, and Australia, bunch of places in Australia and Thailand. So yeah, cocaine was flowing.
Yep. Yeah. Written and directed by Steven de Souza, who also wrote Die Hard and The Running Man and 48 Hours and Commando.
It's crazy to hear all the other ones, and then this one sucks.
Yeah.
Well, and Judge Dredd.
No, here's the thing. Look, Judge Dredd has a lot of issues because of the movie and the time that it came out and when it was made. However, it's not a bad movie. It's a decent movie. It's pretty good, especially like the production value of it is insane. And like
it's fun for the time, but I just remember if you were a comic book fan, you were like, why the fuck doesn't he have his helmet on at all?
100%.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely team Dredd forever.
Yeah, we should do Judge Dredd and Dredd. That'd be fun.
We should. We really, really should.
I haven't watched either of those in ages.
Yeah.
I just caught that Street Fighter came out the day before Christmas, 1994.
Yeah.
Really?
What? This is
Why would this not be a summer blockbuster?
Dude.
It's such a summer blockbuster.
It's totally...
Even if it's terrible, it makes more sense in the summer.
You released this movie in May or June.
Yeah.
This is the May or June movie. Fucking idiot.
It just Hollywood did not understand video games at all.
Oh, the same guy who
so long.
Yeah, I just said Steven de Souza.
Well, I thought you said he wrote it, which he did write it and directed it.
Yeah.
Was this his first movie that he directed?
I think it might have been his first major motion picture that he directed. Let me.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Sheesh.
Nope. He directed Tales from the Crypt.
An episode of Tales from the Crypt. Yeah.
Something. So yeah. Well. You can write a movie.
This was his first major movie, because he did,
and also to
Robot Monster, and then some other movie no one's ever heard of.
Fucking egos.
Oh, I'm sure it was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, because Street Fighter, making the movie Street Fighter is not. Oh, I just wrote this, or oh, I just directed this.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I was just there. Like it's there's a lot more going on.
Yeah.
In order to squeak what we got into the theaters.
Right. Yeah, he was doing $10,000 worth of cocaine a week, which doesn't sound like that much.
But in 90s,
but in 1994,
but adjusted for inflation,
that's a lot of money. Let's see what that is.
Sounds like a lot in today as well.
Yeah,
that's a lot. $10,000 a week.
$10,000.
Is that real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's a very well documented shoot. Apparently,
no way was that just for him though. He was blowing lines with Kylie Minogue.
Of course, yeah.
God damn, that's like It's $21,295 in today's money. That's a lot of coke. Yeah, but it has. I'm sure it's got to be the whole fucking crew was probably.
Yeah.
Oh,
Minogue
for sure.
didn't seem too coked up though. She was like her typical hot self. She was just she seemed in good shape.
I wonder. I gotta check the Blu-ray and see if there's any like fun bonus features where it seems very clear, like interviewing people behind the scenes if they're pretty fucked up. Yeah,
I kept
like, well, I just got
to
the script,
if,
and I just
to see if JCVD ever had like just a little bit of dust somewhere.
It's the best script I've ever read. I
wrote it.
But there's got to be like, I wish somebody would put together a documentary of like extra footage or like just stories from people who worked the set that were like, oh yeah, no, this is like something we walked in on. This is something we would see every day. Because those are the best stories.
Yeah.
There's definitely an article where
my God,
talk about what's going on.
JCVD turned down the role of Johnny Cage to do this film.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I think he would have been a better Johnny Cage.
Yeah, because Johnny Cage was based on him.
Yeah, based off of him,
Yeah.
That's just wow.
That was funny. I told you guys one of my English high school teachers played Johnny Cage. in the second Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah,
Josh,
yeah,
I think we had talked about this. You had a friend that told you the same thing.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess he went to the same high school as I did. Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's fucking crazy. Yeah, I posted about Mortal Kombat Annihilation on Facebook not too long ago because I had rewatched it and I was like, man, what a piece of shit. And
but it follows along the same lines as this movie where I can still watch it and have fun with it now.
But it was Mike Lawrence, he's a comedian and a writer, had commented on it, and he was all like, one of my English teachers in high school, or maybe he was a substitute teacher, and he was like, played Johnny Cage in that movie.
Mr. Conrad.
And he's like, when he said he was he had a bit part as an actor and he played Johnny Cage, everyone got really excited, and then he said in the sequel, and we were all like, oh. And he's like, I felt so bad for that guy after that because none of the kids could hide their disappointment. It's like, oh, you're the guy who got his fucking neck broken like 9 seconds into the movie to set the tone.
Yeah.
I couldn't.
He's got a pretty big role in is it Airborne, the Seth Green movie?
Oh God, I forgot about that movie.
Remember that? The whole rollerblade movie?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Conrad. He plays the bully in that movie.
Nice. Well, if he's listening, congrats. Yes. Thank you for your service.
I had trouble paying.
Someone had to die in the first 10 seconds.
Well, no, as a teacher, teachers, that's a thankless job. Yeah, your role is Johnny Cage,
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yeah, as a high school English teacher, you are a fucking hero.
Annihilation was to my life.
Yeah.
God, I still remember being in I don't know how old we were when Annihilation came out, but I was in the theater. Everybody was fucking stoked. Yeah. Everybody. And then he died.
The first one was fucking so good.
Great. And then he died, and I couldn't get over it through the whole movie. I was like, what the fuck? And then it just progressively got worse and worse.
It was, that movie, I feel like I didn't want this to become a Mortal Kombat Annihilation episode, but I remember that movie being the first time as a kid I realized movies could be bad.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
because when you're a kid, every movie you see rules. Because you're like, you're just like, it's a movie. This is what. Maybe I didn't get it. Maybe it was this. But I saw Mortal Kombat Annihilation all by myself. Bought a ticket, took the bus or whatever, and I just remember. Wasn't the real Johnny Cage, and then he died immediately, and I was like, well, I mean, it wasn't the same actor, so maybe it's better off without him. And then James Remar shows up as Raiden with short hair, and I'm like,
terrible.
What the fuck is happening here? And then the Sindel shit.
James Remar, had we not had Christopher Landon before, Remar perfect. Remar's a good Raiden.
No, I love James Remar, but we had Christopher Lambert.
We had fucking Lambert, man.
Raiden, and so, and then every 10 minutes it was something new, like the fucking Jax with his arms, and then the
arms look good,
sacrifice Sindel in her fucking Party City outfit. And
that was fucking horrible,
And I also just loved when the dude walks in, he's like, we took out 2 more people from Earthrealm, Cabal and Stryker. And I'm like, oh, Cabal, I mean, fuck Stryker. I'm glad he died off screen, because that dude sucks. But Cabal is cool. We should have had Cabal in this movie.
Cyrax and Sector looked cool.
Yeah.
But they did nothing with them.
Yeah. It was just another, like, drop more characters in that we can include in the trailer to make people think they're actually in the movie.
Cabal than them.
Yeah.
Kind of want to watch Mortal Kombat now.
I think that we should. I think that we should do Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat.
We've got like 10 more JCVD movies.
We'll
get to it.
We've got the whole year already planned, it seems, because we've got like 4 more rounds of JCVD.
Yeah.
And then, a couple other 2 or 3 packs that we've been discussing that are exciting. So it's going to be. We just have to do 3 episodes a week. I can quit my job.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah. Fuck it.
So I think that, well, I don't want to shit all over Universal Soldier too early, but I think these might be the 3 worst JCVD movies out of the whole batch.
See, and that's interesting because I would put Universal Soldier pretty high, actually.
I put Street Fighter pretty up there.
Yeah,
but not for the right reason.
None of these are for the right reason.
I'm going to give that a vote of no confidence.
Are you saying of the 15 JCVD movies we're about to watch, or of his entire like IMDb resume?
I think of the ones we're about. Right now.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, if
yeah,
I think we have to
there was
cut
a
off
stretch
the-
there where he definitely made movies worse than Universal
Yeah,
Soldier.
for sure. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't want to talk shit about Universal Soldier that much because it was a decent movie, but when I look at, well, there is Double Team.
There it is.
So
I was gonna wait for you to realize that we were watching that one soon.
Yeah, I forgot we got to watch Double Team.
Yeah,
That might be the end of like the as modern as
Oh,
we
it
can
is.
get. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
well,
That is also kind of
like,
the signal of where his career ends.
Well, his career smashed into the wall in Street Fighter. That was the end.
Right, but he kept doing
It was 94.
Yeah, but then no, it wasn't. Yeah, it was 94, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was
because he did
95 or
he did
96.
Sudden Death after that.
Yeah, he did a
Really?
few things after. Yeah, it wasn't like just
Sudden
the
Death
end.
was 96, and I think that was his last like major.
Yeah, that was the after. That was the last
96.
one. God, he's got so much. I mean,
When did
even though
Double
a
Team
lot
come
of
out?
these are terrible.
I want to say
like,
97 or
fucking
98.
works.
Okay.
No, Street Fighter. Yeah, Street Fighter was 94, but it was Time Cop came out earlier that same year.
Yep.
Hard Target was the year before.
Yeah.
So Street Fighter was the wall. And then after that, Sudden Death, which was good, but I think that was his attempt to try and do something different. And
When did Double Team come out?
and then Double Team came out in 97.
Yeah, Double
So
Team 97.
I've
at that
always-
point,
I don't think that his career ended at Street Fighter. I think that his career took a stumble at Street Fighter, but he fucked up by not being able to recover it.
well,
Because
yeah,
Sudden Death came out, and then Double Team
Yeah,
came
it
out,
was-
and you were like, "All right, you
Yeah.
had 3 chances now, motherfucker."
well, he did Sudden Death and then The Quest and then Maximum Risk, which Josh, did you say that you saw Maximum Risk?
Yes. Although a long time ago, I barely remember it, but it's got Natasha
Remember The
Henstridge
Quest
in it, I
being
think.
pretty rough.
Right.
Street Fighter bombed technically in theaters, but according to 2024 shareholders meeting at Capcom, it still makes tens of millions of yen each year in streaming
They
and
love it in China.
physical media sales and other stuff. So Street Fighter
good for
had
him.
played the long game. But yeah, I think that was probably the one because he demanded 20 million a picture like Jim Carrey was getting, and that's when people were like, fuck you, you're not bringing in Jim Carrey box office.
Right.
So we can't do that. And so then Sudden Death, he was the 4th choice for that role. So I think that's probably where his career was starting to
really,
take a dip.
He put himself in a corner.
And Double Team was just as much a Dennis Rodman vehicle as it was
100%.
as Jean-Claude Van, because
They
Dennis
were
Rodman was the one who was all on the tabloids at the time.
They were trying real hard to launch Dennis Rodman as an actor.
Yeah, because he had that, and then Simon Says, and one other like action movie, all within like 18 months.
Yeah,
and Simon Says the one with Dane Cook.
I think it is.
I think it might be. Yeah,
yeah. He like tag teams with Dane Cook.
That's right.
Jesus,
not Repo Man. What's the one with Stallone? And
Demolition Man.
Demolition Man. Did that come out before Double Team? That came out before Double Team, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's so funny is like 90s. I'm glad you brought that
93.
up. Like the 90s had all of these. Why it was like all the action stars of the 80s didn't necessarily know where to fit.
Yeah.
And they were trying all of these things,
What's-
like Stallone doing.
It's because the studios had no idea what to do with them, so they were
Yeah.
just like throw
the
stuff at it, and
80s
something will stick.
Yeah,
The 80s action just wasn't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
It wasn't
right.
Yeah.
Because all the 80s stuff was pretty like basic as far as like the conceptual aspect of it.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
it's a fucking robot from the future. He's a fucking barbarian. You know, and it's really like boom, boom. You know exactly what it is. And then as it starts getting closer to 2000s, everybody's like, "Oh, we want more like depth and shit. Like we want to have fucking Jean-Claude Van Damme and I guess Dennis Rodman, and like you got to start making it more.
I
like,
think it's the opposite. I think we started getting way less depth in the 90s.
Well, yes, but I mean, like, as far as like what they were giving us, they were like, how do we make it interesting?
Right.
How do we
And
start
they just
throwing
kept
more
failing.
shit? Yeah,
Well, they also
100%.
tried to make it
It's
like
like quicksand.
intentionally silly.
Yeah.
Whereas like 80s, some 80s
Right.
action movies are fun and funny, but
Yes.
they're
You
still
take it
straightforward action movies. And then in the
seriously,
90s, it was like, no,
Yeah.
these are just
Right.
like two. They all tried to Lethal Weapon two
Right.
like different actors together, and it's like that's not
Right.
Not
Yeah.
everybody needs to like. Arnold
Yeah.
works better when he's by himself a lot of the time.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Same thing with Stallone.
yeah, same thing with Stallone. Like,
Same thing with Dennis Rodman.
yeah.
yeah,
If we
definitely.
had never put Dennis Rodman in a movie, he would have been
Yeah,
acting by himself.
I mean, I
Would've
will
been
say
great.
Dennis Rodman was probably
didn't-
brought down by Dane Cook in Simon Says.
Yeah.
I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be
And
some
he didn't
shit?
need
If,
Michael Jordan either.
if really, yeah, no, definitely not. You know what? Let's be real. I'm not even into basketball, and I can recognize that Michael Jordan's talent gave Dennis Rodman the ability to be a weirdo.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, they were so good, they could just have some asshole that was
Yeah.
just an attention sink.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he was
but I mean, Rodman was a
the
hell of a
best
player
rebounders.
No,
too,
for
though.
sure.
Yeah, he could
But,
rebound
yeah.
like motherfucker. Yeah.
But
He
he
just
got
also
away
liked
with a
to
lot
wear a
of
wedding
shit
dress
because the rest of the team was carrying his ass.
Yeah.
Had like
Yeah.
16 piercings, yeah.
Yeah.
And now he's
So,
good friends with Kim Jong-un.
Yeah.
Kim Jong-un.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Kim Jong-un.
The top review for Double Team. It's 5 stars.
This is Kim
Her name
Jong-un.
is Alyssa, and it's Alyssa wrote, "Seems like there are a lot of cowards online who don't appreciate cinema when it looks them in the eye."
Nice.
I agree,
Touche.
Alyssa.
Excited for that
Touche.
one.
Yeah.
Double Team's the shit.
I saw it in theaters.
Did you really?
Did you?
Yeah.
Pretty sure I
Yeah.
did too. I think I saw Simon Says in theaters also.
I saw it
That
in
was
jail.
because
Yeah.
these are Double Team was a Double Team 97. Oh, it was rated R. So I'm pretty sure I still saw it in theaters though. I must have gone with my dad. Anytime there was a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie playing, we would go see it. So that must have
Yeah.
been it.
Yeah, I have a distinct memory. I feel like my life changed after that movie.
Mickey
'Cause
Rourke.
I have a distinct memory of fucking renting that movie. Again, this was me in Quebec for like 2 months, and I'm in the basement, and I watched that movie, and the whole scene of him just rebuilding himself up, which
Yeah.
in my memory is like an hour long, and when I rewatch it, like it's only like 5 or 10 minutes of him just trying to like build his body back up. He like lights a cigarette to time how long he could hold his breath, and he's fucking doing push-ups and splits and all that shit. And I was fucking doing push-ups throughout that whole movie. Like I'm I'm here for 2 months. I'm gonna go back to fucking 7th grade and be fucking jacked. And everybody's like, "Holy shit, what happened to Derek? Like, where did he go?"
Wait,
the
Double
last couple of
Team's the
months?
movie where he uses the fucking cigarette
good.
and it just burns all the way
Yes.
down?
Yeah,
That's where that
Yeah.
came from?
yeah. And
That-
he keeps timing to get his
that
breath.
is
Like
seared into my brain anytime
Yes.
I see a
Yeah.
cigarette.
So I remember forgetting what the name of the movie was, and I think it was maybe like I don't know, like 10 years later, and I still was so fucking like I remember that whole scene, and it really did make me just like obsessed with fitness. Like, oh, like you could fucking build yourself up like that, dude. Like I'm gonna do that too.
So sick.
And I remember catching it or somehow like just either realizing it or seeing the movie somewhere. And I was like, oh, fuck, that's the one. That was the movie where he does all that and rented it. I think we might have been in Orlando. And I watched it and it was like, that was a piece of shit movie. But those 10 minutes are so fucking cool to me that it just makes the whole movie fucking awesome. And of course, like, I mean, just Rodman is so bad that
So
it's,
bad.
you know, it's Street Fighter. It's just the whole thing
Yeah.
is just, it's a fucking joke. And it's,
I'm excited for us to actually get to watch it.
Right.
yeah, I'm excited. I haven't seen it since, I mean, it's probably been like 15 years.
Yeah, I
now,
haven't watched
but-
that one in
yeah.
ages.
Yeah.
Now the next one next week is Nowhere to Run, Death Warrant, and Lionheart.
I'm stoked.
Which
I
I
don't know
don't-
if I've ever seen Lionheart.
I know I've seen all of them, but I remember Nowhere to Run more than I remember Death Warrant or Lionheart.
I
I
think Lionheart might be the only one I've seen of those three.
Nowhere
Dude,
to
Nowhere
Run.
to Run is fucking awesome.
Nowhere to Run is. There's like
I don't
a
think I've seen
handful
Nowhere
of
to Run.
movies that got me obsessed with motorcycles as a kid, and Nowhere to Run is
Nice,
one of them.
dude.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
The first 3 VHS I ever owned, and I still own them. I'm looking at them right now on my shelf. Were Hard Target, Time Cop, and Death Warrant.
fuck yeah.
Nice.
And I remember getting them for Christmas, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, Hard Target and Time Cop. What's Death Warrant?" And my dad was like, "He's in prison. He fucking like you gotta."
Oh, I don't think I've seen that one.
We gotta watch that one tonight.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
And yeah, it's
Hell yeah.
it's crazy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm
sick.
stoked. Let's go over
That'd be a good
these fucking numbers for these.
Yeah, Cyborg, we got 22% tomato meter,
Seems high.
31% audience score.
I'm actually surprised more people liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Street Fighter, 11% tomato meter.
Oh, come on.
20% audience score.
Hold on.
There's
hold
no
on,
way,
hold on.
no way Cyborg was twice as good as Street Fighter.
You know
No
what?
critics.
That's fucking fair.
Fuck off.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well, both of them. Like,
Yeah.
how does that get? What'd you say? 20%?
20% audience, and the other one.
22%. Oh, what are we doing?
The audience, and then 31% audience for
Cyborg,
Cyborg.
yeah.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
That's so many people being like, you just don't get it.
Smaller sample size. Less people have seen Cyborg or reviewed it.
That makes sense.
But
Yeah.
Okay.
So of the
Yeah,
people that have
sure.
seen Cyborg, I think more people
Yeah.
appreciate
Just
it because
assholes.
of like
Yeah, of the 3 people surveyed, one
Yeah.
dude was like, "I thought it was fun."
I mean, it is. Like, here's the thing. Like,
just
it looks
don't-
really cool. There's some fucking great shit at the end of it. The production value is pretty good. It's got Jean-Claude Van Damme's actually in it.
You bring up a lot
It's
of good
funny to
points.
I've never looked at
Street Fighter doesn't
these-
have Warchild, who actually looks like a Street Fighter character.
You are
Yeah.
saying words.
And most of the people in Cyborg actually look like they could fight.
But you're nothing. There's nothing in the world, nothing that you could say to make that movie better than Street Fighter. Nothing.
Cyborg?
Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely not.
Nah. There's no way. There's no way.
What
What are
about
the Universal Soldier numbers? I feel like that one
Yeah,
might
that's
do
got to be
better.
better.
That's got to be better.
34%
What if I- hold on.
tomato meter.
Hold on. Oh, 34%
40
tomato.
and 47.
See, that's
Okay, that's fair.
There it
that
is.
makes sense. That makes sense.
See, hold on. I just want to. You said I couldn't say anything, but what if I said?
I mean, he does going back to his
Gibson
eyes.
Rickenbacker.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Oh.
Maybe, yeah. He does look pretty ripped on that cross, though.
Yeah, dude.
He does
He
look ripped on the
does.
cross.
That's
Yeah.
that's a 10% right there.
Yeah, he's got those Jesus on the cross abs.
Yeah, we had Arnold getting Guatemalan jacked, and we've got Jean-Claude as Cyborg
Jesus.
crucifixion jacked.
Samurai jacked.
Yeah,
Jesus Samurai Jack.
Dystopian Jesus
Dystopian Jesus Samurai Jack.
Oh.
We are Dystopian Jesus
Yeah, I was
Samurai
about to say,
Jack.
that's a dope band name, Dystopian Jesus.
Dystopian Jesus.
Dude, that's a great band name. That's what we got to do is make
Start a
fucking
band.
fictitious band T-shirts, and that one would be fucking sick.
Yeah.
Dystopian Jesus. Is that a skate brand? No. It's a band.
No.
I've never heard of them because they don't exist. What? You've got
It's
tour
because
dates on the
it's-
back. Yep.
It's because it's based off a Cyborg. What?
Yeah. It's an inside joke based off a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Yeah.
That we made in a
Inside joke.
podcast.
Yeah.
Well, I
Only
think we've
4
heard
of us
all we
know
need.
about
We'll
it.
let you know if we've chosen you for the job. Yeah.
Wait, was I being interviewed?